You're someone with ultra sensitive. This is ultra sensitive, extra sensory, super, super high level spidey senses. But you're an ultra sensitive, intuitive, and your psychic awareness is off the charts. Okay, it's off the charts. We all embody as cosmic beings, right? We all embody the telepathy, the intuition, the empathy, blah, 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 right? What I'm speaking of is very different in the sense of your mission here and the role you play and who you are. Okay. All right. So I have a little bit of notes here. So welcome in, my loves. If you are new here, welcome to the Soul Familia, the Soul Tribe of Gypsy Cowgirl Tarot. I'm Erica. I'm a psychic medium and an oracular priestess. I'm going to go ahead and just clear the energy. I just saw 1-1. And so it is. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. We're divinely protected and divinely held within this space. And so it is. So I'm being guided by my spiritual team. Basically, my spiritual team is kind of like, you know, it's kind of like my higher self, right? My guides, my angels. They're guiding me to tap more in to my spirituality in the way of things like that. So like they're guiding me, like when I start my messages, clear the energy, throw up protection, la 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 la, things like that, okay? Which I'm guilty of because like I don't do that in all my messages. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't when I'm guided, but I'm being guided now to like just really tune in to bring forth more of my divine truth, my light language, you know, things like that. Okay. So anyway, so if you're new here, welcome in, loves. That's why I'm sharing that. Those of you guys who have been here, you know, I don't, a lot of times I do, but sometimes I don't, right? Okay. Anyways, going back to the divine message, and a lot of you guys could be being called also because I am connecting to this message on April 23rd, 2024. with the pink full moon in Scorpio. Okay, this is the first full moon that we have had post eclipses, you know, the full moon lunar eclipse and then the total solar eclipse that we had. Okay, so we're still within the ecliptic energies. We're going to be feeling these for a while, right? But this is the message at this time in regards to this full moon, how it's affecting you. I actually have a lot of messages that are coming through. So let me start with this one. And yeah, I have videos I got to record. So you are such a powerful divine channel that many times throughout life, you have felt crazy or just too deep. Like you just didn't connect the way other people did that you were around. Okay, and I'm getting messages as I'm channeling this message. You've always felt and knew that you were beyond the norm, the normal conventional society. Okay, for a lot of you guys, you've struggled in relationships, partnerships, right? You've maybe struggled with like dynamics of like when you were a student in school with the teacher, you know, the teacher as the authoritative, you know, and there's nothing wrong with teachers, right? Like we need teachers, right? But the new earth teachers are very different than what the matrix schools and systems have been showing. So at a young age, you knew something wasn't right with the structure of the school system. You knew, it's almost what I'm getting is like shoving things down my throat. Okay. Meaning like you felt like this stuff was being forced upon you. It was being shoved down your throat. Okay. So oftentimes you may have felt or even acted in a rebellious way. Like, you know, maybe on your report card, you know, you got talks too much in school, right? Well, that was, you know, I mean, I was pretty good, right? But I do recall times where it was like, you know, you talk too much, or you stop talking so much, or whatever. But I always felt this rebellious kind of energy too within school, and not resonating with it. Although there's a lot of starseeds who are very highly, that's a part of their light work and mission, is to be a teacher in this way. You know, I'm called to be, you know, go to college and get my teaching degree, all the things, right? Because you're meant to actually anchor in your light in certain places with children and in certain systems, etc. Right? Okay, so anyways, I'm getting off track. Okay, and then I got like thinking to oneself throughout life, so this would be you who I'm speaking to, why don't I think the way that they do? Why don't I think like them? Is something wrong with me? You are very consciously aware that you are someone and something very different. Okay, and then that's when I got the ultra sensitive intuition and psychic awareness. Okay, and then in particular, who I'm talking to, like there's a group of you guys for sure, like a large group of you, because I'm recording this on the day of the full moon. Your abilities, your gifts, all the things, it is extremely heightened, and it's like hyperactive. I'm getting hyperactive, hyper potent. It's very strong, we'll say, with the full moons, in particular with full moons. Now you can connect very deeply with the moon in general and different moon phases, absolutely. But there's something very ritualistic. There's something very empowering. There's something throughout your past lives that you've worked with the full moons in particular. So when we do have a full moon, it's like it's like all of your extrasensory senses, right? Your six senses are off the charts. They go crazy. Okay, this could even be difficult for you because you might even feel very out of sorts with certain full moons, or very over anxious, or too much energy coming through, etc. Okay. And then I also said you're very connected, because it came through, you're also very connected to the sun. And it's kind of like, well, duh, everyone's connected to the moon and the sun that lives on Earth, because we live under the sun and the sun and the moon. But that's not what I mean. What I mean by this is like, there is this highly activated energy that occurs. This full moon in particular, which is why this message came out with this full moon, is highly activating for who I'm speaking of. Okay, what I'm getting is like after today, like again, like you're not gonna be the same. We're getting activated, we're getting all these things anyways, but there's something in particular about this. Okay, I'm also getting like the smoke clears and the fog lifts. Okay, so areas of your life where you are getting that, like, you know, smoke and mirrors or whatever. Okay, this could be a situation or situations with people in your life. Okay, as I look down, bottom of the deck, the twin flame card is there. So this could be in regards to, you know, something like that. You're just tuning in so profoundly and so deeply. It's almost like you're seeing things before they happen. Okay, you're dreaming of things before they happen. Okay, you're having a conversation, you know, conversations, you're just going through your day each day. And it's like all of your psychic awareness that you've always embodied, which has, by the way, been a massive threat to a lot of people, and specifically adults through adolescence. And then this could be people, you know, that were adults when you were an adolescent. Okay, so maybe grandparents, parents, etc., right? Things like that. It's highly triggering to a lot of people because that's another part of who you are. And I'm getting like this very powerful, like primordial energy that you embody. Okay, so you may be someone who has suffered from a lot of anxiety. You know, I'm getting like riddled with anxiety, or maybe like, you know, you were a child that had a very hard time focusing or staying focused, okay? And what I'm actually hearing is misdiagnosed. Now, I'm not a doctor, okay? These are obviously entertainment purpose only, but what I'm getting is like there's a very high probability for some of you guys out there that you were misdiagnosed with certain things, okay? When in reality, what you were was this like very powerful primordial being or energy, whatever you want to say, and it's almost too much too much connectivity and too much, you know, divinity, too much energy is what I want in your body. Okay. And so you were someone who needed to do things, you know, like, you know, as a child, run around and be outdoors and connect and, you know, get this energy out. Okay. Where adults or people around you, family, they didn't understand that. They just thought that you were just some, you know, you couldn't focus and it was like some kind of disability, you know what I mean? But it wasn't. It was a fucking divine strength. Okay. So that could be confirmation for some of you guys, because I'm literally hearing someone go, I knew it. Like, I knew it. I knew it. What she just said is so confirming for me, because that's exactly what happened to me. And I knew it, right? Even at a young age, I'm hearing 6 years old. You were 6 years old for some of you guys. Okay. I'm also getting the year 1987. So maybe you were 6 years old in 1987. Maybe something specific happened at that time. Okay. You've also had a lot of paranormal activity and experiences from childhood through your whole life. Things just happen around you. You know, objects move, lights flicker, candle flames do stuff, you know, because of, again, the very powerful energy that you embody. The elements have always responded to you. Animals have always responded to you, but so has the spiritual realm. Okay. Now, what I also keep getting is you pose a great threat. And what that means is, the way that's coming through is like, even since childhood, there has been these, you know, darker forces, you know, darker, you know, magicians or dark witches, things of that nature, who knew of you, knew of your gifts, knew who you were and who you would become before you even knew who you were and who you would become. Okay. There's been, I'm getting chills up my left leg. So this could be specific to a divine feminine energy, but this is also our receiving side. So a lot of these darker forces were trying to block you from receiving your awakening. That's what I'm getting here. Okay. But that's like, I mean, that's some crazy stuff, because that's like a part of your soul. Like, that's like why you came here. Okay. So for that to like, it's like they were trying to delay it and create blockages. Okay. There was a lot of trying to pull you down, okay, and hurt you, so you couldn't, so you wouldn't fulfill your destined path, your destiny, or your mission. Okay, these could be people that were incarnated into your family. I think specifically for some of you guys, that's why you did incarnate to the bloodline that you have incarnated into, okay, through past lives. You know, there could be a few of you guys who it's the first time you've incarnated to a bloodline in this lifetime. But I think for the most part, your bloodline, you're connected to that. It's your you know, your soul pod, you know, your connection of soul ties, soul connections, the group that you are part of. Okay. I'm getting that, like, for some of you guys, you know, going back to the paranormal experiences, like, you really had a lot of this going on, or you encountered this, and adults shut you down, your parents shut you down. You know, they kind of like just, you know, brushed it under the rug and kind of like, you know, oh, it's the monster under the bed. Oh, it's the, you know, monster in the closet. When really there was, you know, and you being like this very powerful being, you knew what these forces were. Like, you knew what this is and what I'm tuning into. And maybe maybe my parents or the adults can't physically see it because for whatever reason, but I know I'm not crazy. Even as a child, I'm not crazy. Okay. Because you're a very old, ancient, like, energy or soul. Okay. Which is why you struggled so much throughout life with like the very systematic approaches. You've always been able to tune in. You knew what people were thinking. You knew why they were thinking it. You could pick up on their next actions or the actions that they were doing or creating. You knew why they were doing it. Like, you're so in tune. You're so hyper, like, extrasensory. Okay, and these are gifts that you're meant to utilize. This is like a part of the reason why you're here. You're meant to work with these gifts. Okay, but I know for a lot of you guys, it has felt like a curse. It felt like you could see too much. You could connect too much. You felt like, you know, like you just wish you could be normal and just be like, right, like everyone else and just check the boxes and do the robotic dance in life, you know, but you couldn't. You tried, but you couldn't. You tried, but you couldn't. Every single time you tried, you got kicked out of it. You kept getting kicked out of the loops. Okay, but that rejection was always protection. You're a very strong activator too. Okay, like the energy that you embody is so strong, so powerful, so ancient. Okay, that people can't stand being around you. And when I mean that, I mean literally, some people could just be very highly triggered, and you know, it's very much, you know, they hate you for no reason. You know, I don't even know this person and they don't like me. You guys, literally, I'll share something with you. Like some of my very first experiences with duality in that way of negative people and attacks and, you know, all of that started on at like quite a young age. You know, I was in elementary school when it started, where people just picked on me, right? They didn't like me. They just didn't like me. I mean, I had friends and all that, but they just didn't like me. And I couldn't understand for the life of me why. Like, you don't know me. I'm, you know, right? Like, we're in 6th grade. Like, why do you, you know? Well, now I know why. Now I know why. When the very first, like, you know, we've all been there. I mean, for the most part, where we've had a physical altercation in school, whether, right, junior high, high school, things like that. Okay, so the first fight that I got into with this girl, it was, I had never even talked to this girl in like my life ever. And I knew who she was because she kind of had like a bad attitude, bad energy, bad vibe, even at that young age of like 6th grade or whatever, you know, 6th, 7th grade. But she hated me. She hated me. Like, I couldn't understand it. She hated me. And then she rallied the troops, you know, and then she got other people to hate me. And then before you know it, like, I was getting called names walking to classes, you know, picked on, my backpack pulled, like, you know, as I'm walking, like very just traumatic things for when you're that age and you can't understand. That's how it shows up though. That's how it starts. Okay. You could even have had like a parent or a sibling who treated you like that, or who was just very, you know, just always Anya, right? She ended up in gym class one day. We were changing in the locker room and she waited until, you know, I had like my little like gym sweats like around my legs, but she, you know, came up out of nowhere and just pushed me and I fell. And then it was, you know, from there, and I ended up actually really doing a number on her. And it was just, I guess, so much anger that came up because I couldn't understand, like, why do you hate me so much, you know? And then for her to just hurt me like that, it, you know, but now, so I know a lot of, and I share these things with you guys because it's real life events that many starseeds or, you know, very powerful earth angels have encountered for no reason, right? Well, the reason is because it's just you, just because of the fact that you're there, the energy that you embody, what you trigger within them, even at young ages. Okay. It starts, like I said, in that way. Okay. So you've known a lot of this. You've known a lot of just cruelty and bullies and, you know, all these things. Exactly. Bottom of the deck is hostilities. You've known a lot of hostile energy towards you because of the powerful activator you are. Okay. You could be very connected to the Black Panther, to the Jaguar. Okay, I'm very connected to both. Okay, just the big black cat in general. Okay, but both of them very connected for me. They're a very powerful ally and guide and protector to me. Okay, so I resonate with this right here, but you can't make this up. Hostilities, you see that. You've known a lot of hostile environments. You could have been born into hostile karmic families where there was a lot of hostility or negativity between parents or just in the household. Okay. I'm getting it was very difficult for you a lot of your life because People didn't understand you. Again, you just felt like, why can't I just be more like them? Because, you know, at the time you thought that was right and you just wanted to feel more normal and you, right? But it was so beyond what you were meant here to do, okay? Because you are beyond the norm. You are a very strong, very gifted medium or psychic, or just a high level intuitive. Your clair's off the charts, whatever it is, okay? Whatever your gifts are, they're strong. They're very in tune. Conflict, unrest. A lot of the conflict and hostility has left you feeling depleted, tired, okay? Now, the message here with this full moon, and didn't I say specifically in my channeling, I said that who I'm speaking to, you specifically have a very strong connection to full moons. And the very first card here, hostilities, confirmation, okay? And she's, right? She's connecting with her energy. She has kind of like this little ball of light almost here, right? There's some kind of ritualistic thing here happening with the moon and her power animal. But it's, again, confirmation of you connect very, there's something about a heightening and a very strong past life connection of magic, ritual, things like that, okay? I feel that you could have actually worked with the full moon, okay, to work with collective energy and for humanity, where you have worked with the full moons to create and to transmute, to help transmute hostile energy through earth and conflict through earth, etc. For some of you guys, this is a direct revelation and a call for you to connect with this full moon, or if you don't feel guided with this specific full moon, maybe another full moon. But I'm going to say this full moon or one of the next full moons, if you feel very highly guided, it's very important here for you to reignite past life memory by going out, sitting under the full moon, connecting with the full moon, okay, maybe creating a little bonfire or having candles or whatever, right? Something about working with the elements, sitting under the full moon. Definitely fire is going to be huge. I don't know why, but it's coming through very strongly. Oh, for transmutation, for burning things away with the full moon, a release. But you are someone, when you tune in and you anchor that focus, intent, and your power and energy on transmuting and annihilating, eradicating hostile energy, conflicted energy through earth, okay? Hate, anger, rage, fear, like that kind of stuff. Okay, when you set the intention and you work with the full moon, because this is what you've done in past lives, you make a massive difference in the collective energy. And that's why the suggestion and the guidance is saying you may want to do that with the full moon, okay? You know, release stuff from your own life, pray for your own life. I work with this full moon and I transmute and I send out and release all hostile energies in my life, conflicting energies in my life, right? I call forth a state of love, grace, flow. Okay, and then expand that outwardly to the entire world, to the entire globe, to the entire collective. There's something very fucking powerful about that, you guys. Okay, card number 31, that could be an age, right? It does break down to 4. There's something about like, you again, the home life, growing up, hostile environments. It was grooming you. It was grooming you. But for some of you guys, I'm so sorry for who this is for. Like, for some of you guys, you had direct family members who specifically, you know, you've known in past lives that hold a grudge, that don't want to, you know, they want to stop you in your tracks. So it's like almost like they followed you in and incarnated or whatever into, right? But there's something here about where it was meant to happen that way because you were meant to rise up into your power. They were never going to stop you even though they thought they could. Fools, right? Absolute fools. Okay. You're someone who, right? Like, you've experienced a lot. You've experienced a lot where you have experienced a lot of maybe dark magic or people, you know, placing, you know, hexes or curses or trying to do binding spells or whatever the hell, right? So before your awakening and before you were really truly stepping back into your conscious power awareness in that way, okay, you still embody that, but you were more susceptible to falling under those things, okay? And these people knew that. For some of them, they knew that. Okay, but they were fools to think that they could stop you in your tracks and that you were not going to fulfill okay, and align to your soul path. But they definitely tried to stop you. They definitely tried to stop you. Wasn't the first time either. They can't stop you. They hate you because they ain't you. They can't stop you, okay, because you're a high-level clairvoyant. There's the confirmation. You're a high-level clairvoyant, psychic, whatever. You're someone where your interpretation of other people and what's going on, situations, you know, the way someone, you know, is talking to you, they could be saying it in the most nice way, the most right, trying to be the most genuine. You can smell the bullshit a mile away. You always could have. Okay, not a mile away. I'm going to say like 50 miles away. You see it way before it's even coming. Okay, for a lot of you guys, you have premonitions. You see things, events taking place, happening, conversations. An example for me is like, you know, in my own life, right? This is because it ties in. I can't tell you how many times, you know, we've been, you know, driving to a family function or something, right? And I am already seeing certain players in the game. I'm already seeing maybe, you know, certain family members, people, you know, where I'm seeing the events happening before they're happening. You know, it's almost like I arrive and then someone tries to say something to trigger me, or it's very passive aggressive, but I already know what they're going to say, what they're talking about, how they're going to say it, who it'll be. And then boom, sure as shit, you know, walk in, and within 5 minutes of being there it is. They come right up, and I already know because I've already seen it play out, right? And that's just one little example on a large scale of all the things. So for me, you know, personally, and I say this because I resonate with this, and a lot of times when I get my messages, most of the time when I get my messages, it's not just for the collective, it's for me. It's for me most of the time first, and then the collective. Like I get like, right, like, okay, this is shared with the collective. This is not, this is just for me, right? But you're someone where you don't need your eyes to see. In this card, she reminds me, even though she has her eyes closed, it reminds me of someone who's blind, right? And when you're, you know, someone who's blind or goes blind, right? Their senses, their other senses kick in like a millionfold, right? Okay, it's like that, but all your senses are there. I don't know, maybe for some of you guys you don't, I don't know, right? But either way, you don't need your real eyes to see. You don't need touch to feel. You don't need, you know, your nose to smell what's going on and sniff out the energy, okay? And the motive and the whatever is underneath all the layers of the illusion or the BS, okay? You're able to fine tooth comb that shit, okay? Okay. You're someone that everything you touch, you bring it to life, you make it grow. Okay. Now going back to you being an activator, because I'm very drawn to the green, you know, it looks like a rose, you know, but there's no flower, it's just the leaves. So, again, with the branch, I feel for a lot of you guys, this is directly associated to family and family members. Okay. Where there's an underlying, you know, thing going on there. Okay, whether it's someone who's been infiltrated or someone who, you know, they've incarnated and they're just a dark energy that's, you know, going after you. But you're someone where you bring karma upon people, meaning like you're an activator, you're a triggerer. Like you, either way, whether people love you or hate you, either way, you are emanating out who you are on a cosmic scale, right? People who have encountered you throughout your whole life, okay, you are someone that is like connected to people, or you're placed within the path because you're a massive balancer of energy. That's one of your biggest powers too, is like you're a massive balancer of energy. Where you go, you create balance. You help awaken people, you help activate people, but you could also be very triggering to people where you shine such a truth and such a light that they can't stand it. They can't stand it because they're so deeply rooted in their, I'm hearing anguish, but they're so deeply rooted in their patterning and in the matrix and the ego and all the things. Okay. So people like that, it's almost like, you know, they will be adamant about their point of view. They're like people that force their point of view, you know, my way or the highway, see it my way. But you're someone who stands in this very strong, you know, just whatever power. And it's almost like a power you stand in, and then around you is like a shield of energy and protection, where people like they want to come at you, or they want to force things upon you, like their, you know, like I said, like their opinion, their truth, all the things, right? You're able to see both sides of the equation, but you also see things on such a deep level, it doesn't even matter. You already know, right? But these people can't meet you there. They can't meet themselves there. They can't see what you see. They don't know what you know, okay? But it makes them pissy. It pisses them off, okay? Or it angers them, or it frustrates them, or they cut you out of their life, or they want nothing to do with you, or they call you crazy, or they think you don't know what you're talking about, or they, you know what I mean? Okay. All right. But you're someone, you know, where you still hold space of love and compassion for these people. Okay. Inspiration, interpretation, and trust. Okay. So your gifts, there's something highly like, okay, so with this full moon, that's another part of the message is we're at 30 minutes. Okay, I'm going to start wrapping this up, even though I could go on forever. There's something highly activating with this full moon for you specifically, who I'm speaking of. It's going to affect everybody. They always do. It's the planets, it's the planetary system. It's going to affect everyone on Earth, no matter what, whether they realize it or not, right? But this specific full moon, it activates something really beautiful for you. It's more of like your gifts. I'm getting a lot of like prophetic timelines. Like you're going to start the timelines integrating our prophetic ones that you've seen. Okay. I knew this was going to happen for me. I saw this, or I felt this person. I felt that there was this one person out there that, you know, would come into my life, or I had a dream about this, or I saw this happening. And now I see it like playing out, you know, for real in the 3D. It's like that. Okay. But whatever it is, it's very strong. It's very strong. All right. And it's a part of your gifts that you're going to continue on to utilize and use and share. And it's a part of why you're here. Okay. Look at this. Right after that, on the bottom of the deck is the Courage card with the lion energy. And it specifically says strength, fierceness, family. So for a lot of you guys out there, it is. It's a connection of family. For some of you guys, you know, maybe this isn't specific family members, but it is people who are, you know, it's a part of your ancestry, or, you know, people who, you know, you're connected to on some kind of soul level through some way. Like, do you know what I mean? But you have the lion and the panther here. You have a lot of like very powerful protection. Okay, this is your part of your spiritual family protecting you while you connect to your gifts, your magic, your psychic abilities, you know, your rituals, your, you know, I just keep getting like moon magic. But you embody the lion spirit of leadership. But the lion is courageous, brave, and fierce, but also a true lion's heart. You think of the lion's heart, right? It comes from a place of the heart space, of love and not fear, right? Okay. So you are this person, and you're this person to a lot of people, and a lot of people see you like this. Okay. But you've had to be fierce. You've had to be courageous and brave throughout many times in your life. Okay. Just like the example I gave earlier of like, I mean, I was scared to death of that girl. Like she was someone who got in fights regularly, and, you know, like that was my first like altercation like that ever in my life. You know, I was still so young, only like what, 12 years old or something like that. And I was scared of her. I was so scared that she, you know, that she was going to do that, you know, she was going to like try to fight me or something, you know, and then she did. And my lion energy came up of protecting myself, of that, you know, fierceness and things of that nature, of protection, of survival, right? You know, something I didn't even realize I had in me, right? Of course, at that age. But it kicked in, and it was fierce. It was fierce. And that's who I'm talking to. That's like what you embody. You are that fierce energy. Okay. People they mistake kindness for weakness all the time. They think kindness is weakness, and it's not. We are the iron fist in the velvet glove. Okay. And a lot of the reason why you've had these like dark attacks, or like just people like, you know, that made you feel like outcast, or purposely outcasted you, you know, throughout life. Okay. It's because of all of the hidden knowledge that you house and you hold. okay? Because you can see through the dualistic way of life here. You can see through other people's, dualistic behavior. You can see through all of it. You see both sides of the coin before the coin is even tossed. You know it, okay? Heads or tails? Well, I already know it's going to be tails, Boom, it's tails. Yeah, I know, I saw that happening. Okay, you can see through all of the in-between. You could read between the lines and read the room. Many meanings and misunderstanding. There's been many meanings behind the misunderstandings, okay? Behind the hostilities, behind all the things, right? But what I'm getting here is there's some people here that, I don't know who, I couldn't, right? Like, this is obviously collective, but like there's some energies here that have not, in the not too far or recent past, tried to siphon your power and steal your gifts and your resources, your abundant flow, your business growth, whatever it is. Because of who you are and the power you house and hold. They're threatened by you. They're threatened by you. Because you are here to eradicate whatever it is that they've got going on, meaning they're up to no good, meaning there's some manipulation, there's some darkness there, there's some stuff that's meant to be transmuted, and you are a powerful source of that in this world. Okay? But the message is that those people or whatever's going on here or what's going on here, they've been eradicated. Now, there's a lot. I mean, this is the kind of stuff I don't like channeling, but this is the stuff that's taking place right now, especially, and I'm going to be doing a separate message about this, as we're rapidly rising in frequency here on Earth, okay? And, right, as starseeds, whatever, right? And everything is collapsing and we are, right, basically overthrowing, transmuting so much. The ones who connect to that so much, the ones that are a part of that so much, are pissed. Okay. This is a greed energy. This is a manipulative energy. It's very not good in that way. Okay. And you house so much power. The Akashic records, you connect to the Akash, your own Akash. You can connect to other people's Akash. Okay, that could be a part of a gift that someone was trying to siphon off of, and tune into because they don't have access to Akash like that. Okay, maybe they can connect to their own, but if the Akashic gatekeepers are not going to let you connect at all. Unless you're coming from a very high vibration and place of, the highest good. Akashic records and silent understanding. So you've always had a very silent understanding, even from, childhood, that you were very gifted and that you were different, that you were special in that way. And, I want to say everyone's special, right? Duh, la, la, la. What I mean by that is, like I said in my channeled notes, you knew that you were not of the norm. But for most of your life, it caused a lot of pain for you because you felt very lonely and misunderstood and discounted, okay? Or picked apart. People maybe left you out or made you feel like that, right? Okay, let's get some tarot before we go. I didn't, if you are new here, most of the time, it's what it is. Like, it's 80% channeling, 20% cards. 80% just tuning in and bringing forth that message. So anyways, my loves, this full moon is a very powerful one for you. Like I said, it's for everybody, but for you in particular, okay? For some of you guys, you could have a dream about this stuff right here. Okay, but I think for most of you guys, I'm just confirming for you what you already feel and know, and that's why you're here, right? That's why the title and the energy of the message drew you in. Okay. Let me know in the comments how this connects with you. You know, let me know of some of your similar experiences or things that, you know, have happened, you know, or your paranormal activity, you know, stuff like that. Okay. So for a very long time, you know, Spirit was trying to reconnect with you, but you always had like you know, your spiritual team around you. Your gifts are helping build the new earth. And maybe you're not like working with them. For a lot of you guys, you already are. For a lot of you guys, you already, you know, work with, you know, you do spiritual practices. You tune into, you know, ascended masters or guides. You know, you know, get messages. Your readers, your psychics, your, you know, all the things, right? And for some of you guys, that's a part of this moon activation with the Scorpio moon, full moon, okay? It's literally a moon of scorpionic energy, which speaks of, you know, passion and psychic ability, very, very powerful psychic ability. Scorpios are, they can see through everything. They can see through everything. Okay? You know, they represent the underworld. You know, they can see through people's darkness. They can see through that shadow. Okay? They can see the things that you aren't saying. They're hearing, even though you're not saying them. They can see and sense and feel all the things. You know, Scorpios are, you know, all of the water energy signs, or the water signs, are very, you know, connected in that way. But for me, Scorpio is like next level. You know, it's very strong. It goes deep with the Plutonian energy, you know what I mean? That Plutonian Mars energy. So there's a lot of hidden, it says hidden knowledge, Akashic records. There's a lot of hidden knowledge being activated for you with this full moon. Okay, if this message finds you and it you know, your intuition goes ding, then the message is for you. Okay, you will probably more than likely get references to bobcats, to the lynx, the lion, and the Black Panther or jaguar. Okay, the guidance here, it's very strong. It's to, you know, do some kind of ritual with this moon. Okay, do maybe some release work. You know, this is what I want to release. This is what I want to release. This is what I surrender. But I'll tell you one thing, that that the universe is, there's a lot of old patterns and things, okay, of your old identity and self that is being like, it's being phased out and released. So you can align to more of who you're meant to become and who you are. And who you, when I say who you're meant to become, so that's the version of you that you already are, but on a different, higher timeline that you are now catching up to or calling in. Ace of Wands. I love it. And the Two of Cups. Wow, we have 1 and 2. Okay. So there's obviously, where there's been a little bit of imbalance here, the scales are balancing for you. Okay, so this full moon, again, boom, there's another one, is bringing forth a lot of, it's clearing a lot of that, you know, just a lot of the gunk, energetic gunk or emotional gunk or whatever it is that needs to go, okay? You are calling in a divine partnership with this moon. There's a passionate new beginning here too. Okay, passions are igniting your sacral chakra, fire energy with the Ace of Wands. Didn't I say there is something very specific with this full moon about fire ceremony, doing a little bonfire, or just lighting candles, you know, whatever it is. Okay, but I said to do it like, you know, if you can, outside and under the moon. And right? There we go. Ending the message. There we go. So this moon is igniting so much for you as far as that fiery, passionate energy. Things are picking up speed. That keeps coming through for like a few days now to me. where something happens with what's going on right now. And it just ignites this fiery energy where you just feel more motivated. You feel more, you have more energy. You feel like more sexual energy too. Like you're really like sensual. You could be feeling extra like, sexual, like, horny, like just gonna say it. Just very aroused. Like you're like, you know what I mean? All of that. Okay. But there could also be this divine partnership that is coming to light, after this full moon. Okay. And then we get the Six of Swords. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Things are starting to move more smoothly with this full moon energy for you. Okay. So it's like you are moving forward at this time with all of the lessons that you've learned. Okay. There's a lot of like just beautiful energy here. As far as beauty, it's very, sensual. It gives me like, very Venusian Venus vibes. Okay. So I don't know. It's just like giving me this, like, it's your time. Like, it's your time. Everything I talked of, like how, what you've experienced because you were too connected, your whole life, you've been too in tune, too connected. You could see through all of the layers and things that other people couldn't, even as a child, I'm sure you probably saw through the behavioral patterns and, just you were able to dissect even the adults around you on a large scale, emotionally, mentally, whatever. You could see through it. You were able to dissect it and tune in and put it under the microscope and see it on a much higher level than everyone else could. And that's what I mean. It hasn't been easy because that's really fucking hard to have those gifts and move through life in such a low vibrational reality up until now. Okay, so when I say it's your time, like that's what I mean, okay? And I really do keep getting that, like I knew this was gonna happen. Beautiful, okay. So I'm just gonna leave it there and I'm gonna end with a message. So let's see, let's get a message from the Forest Fae. I love this deck. And a message from the angels, okay? And then I will let you guys go. Thank you, my loves, for being here. I know like once I get in like my channel mode, I'm just like channeling, going. So anyways, if you're here till the end, then without a shadow of a doubt, this is your message, right? And I just want to send love to everyone out there. Like there's so many, especially like starseeds and sensitives, who are really going through it. They're really feeling these very powerful alignments that we're all, going through. I've been getting like, messages from people, DMs, emails, and, I just want to say, I wish I could be there for everyone. I just physically, like literally don't have time to go through all of these reach outs and shares and emails, even though I'm so grateful for them. So, if that's you, I'm so sorry, but I do send love. I'm always praying for everybody, but I do know that there's a lot of starseeds who are very much in this energy of struggle right now. And my guidance, is to really give yourself permission to release the old version and self of who you've been. Release those old stories and all that programming and all of the ways of thinking and all the judgments upon self and all of the, the situations, the grievances. An example would be my example of the girl, that, in junior high and how she just, like that's something that was very, that stayed with me for a long time. It messed with me, as far as like, I got like a lot of anxiety after that. And, I hated like even seeing her at school, even though like she was like ordered to stay away from me, like it was like that, those are things that stick with us. Right. So it's like even that, like me talking about that, that's some shadow work I can do tonight with the full moon. So I'm giving myself permission to release those old stories of these different versions of Erica that have existed and that have gotten me up into this point, and that, you know, literally, like, right? They helped me survive up into this point, right? But now it's okay to release them. Now it's okay to know that that's not who I am anymore. So that's what I want to say to you, okay? And I send prayers to everybody. When the eclipse season hit, and even a little bit before that, I've been getting, and I can't speak to other readers, and I'm sure a lot of other readers out there, and, you know, people in the spiritual community, they get a lot of emails and the same thing. You know, but me personally, I get a lot of people reaching out, and that's beautiful because you guys connect. You feel the love for me. You feel who I am. You know what I mean? And that's why you feel safe and good and okay to reach out. And so, like, bless your hearts and thank you for that. I'm honored. But I just, like I said, I feel bad, like, not being able to get back to everybody, you know? So, anyways, so I just wanted to acknowledge that. And the rest of you guys, thank you, my loves, for being here. If you want to work with me one-on-one and you want to connect with my gifts, you want to tune in, if you want, like, you know, I don't know, I am a past life Akashic reader, or I offer a 20-minute vent sesh, which is not a reading. It's just, again, venting. I feel like I don't have anyone to talk to. Or, you know, general readings, etc. It's all in the description box below. Send me over an email. We can get you guys set up. Okay, and I am opening up my tarot lessons. I know, you know, it's been like a month since I said I was going to open them up, but honestly, like, with my mom's surgery and stuff, I was just like, you know, my schedule won't allow it right this very moment anyway, so why open them up until after, you know, I'm able to, you know, when I'm no longer, like, helping her, you know, a few days a week right now. I am. So on May 1st, I'm going to be officially posting it. And so that, those of you guys who have been wanting to work with me or connect, or you want to learn the tarot and work with your gifts and open your gifts up more, which is honestly my primary focus, even though we do learn the tarot, keep your eye out for that, okay? All right, and I think that's it. I've been off for a couple days, so, because I was over at my parents' house helping with my mom. So I'm just, like, trying to think of all the things. Okay, so we have the first card out was affirmation, and then we have the rainbow and oneness. Okay, so I wasn't expecting this to be, like, this long of a reading, but whatever, I don't care. So the affirmation, so the angels. Be aware of your language and thoughts. The most powerful statement you can ever make, think, or feel is thank you. Be grateful for all of the blessings in your life. As we acknowledge the divine order of life, the universe responds with ever greater blessings. You are a powerful creator. All that you say and think resonates through the heart of creation, and creation responds accordingly. So, you know, affirming grateful thoughts of love, gratitude, appreciation, and a lot of thank yous. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. What am I thankful for? Okay, affirming that kind of, you know, thought vibration out and then to yourself, etc. Also, like, be grateful for all the blessings in your life. This whole message was about how powerful you are, and, you know, but how difficult maybe your life has been. A lot of resistance and a lot of, you know, just attack energies and, you know, whatever, right? They're saying, like, that's a blessing, even though maybe it hasn't felt like it. It is blessing in disguise. So have gratitude and be thankful for those blessings as well. The rainbow. You are a jewel, even though you may not see it. Exactly. Even in the darkest times, you shine eternally bright. Exactly. You are surrounded by an aura of love, and a pot of gold waits beyond the horizon. Exactly. Didn't I say I kept hearing, it's your time, it's your time. All will clear soon. Trust and continue to follow your dreams. You are eternally blessed. Damn right. Damn right, you guys. Oneness. Someone that you dearly miss is forever present in your heart, okay? Remember, dearest one, that even though there has been a physical parting, spiritually, those that we love never leave us. Creation is eternal. Nothing is ever truly missing. For all is interconnected and ultimately one. So this could, I'm getting very strongly for most of you guys, this is a passed on loved one. Okay, what I'm also getting is this is someone you recently lost, or you did not lose this person too far back. It's very strong. In fact, I want to cry right now. Okay, they crossed that rainbow bridge. You have some very powerful loved ones on the other side, guides, ancestors. Okay, this could also speak of a soulmate that you're physically apart from, but on a soul level, we never part. Okay, but I'm getting stronger that this is love. This is loved ones. All right, so let's get one Forest of the Fae card and then we will go. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Happy full moon in Scorpio. Happy full pink moon. Where I'm at in California, even last night, you could it's really beautiful. You could see like a hue of pink for sure. I actually, because they also call this moon, the pink moon, the flower moon. It's you know, like a really soft pink. But the flower moon is actually, this moon is actually one of my most favorite moons all year, every year. Come on, fairies. What do we have? 2 of them. 3 of them. The Nomina. Seek inspiration in twilight wandering. Ooh, okay. So the twilight calls to you. Okay, so for some of you guys, if that resonates, and then work with Nomina or call on little fairy Nomina. The storyteller. Stories are medicine, strengthening and renewing. Okay, so you may be called to a good book. All right, maybe even writing a book, or, you know, this could even be telling stories or talking with friends or sharing, you know, around a little bonfire, or, you know. Be the storyteller of your life, though. That's what I'm getting. Fringe dweller. See with eyes and heart wide open. Exactly. See with your eyes and heart wide open. I'm also getting to say to some of you guys, nothing is lost. Nothing is lost. And all is well. Okay. Well, that's what I have for you, my loves. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you again for all of your love and support. Thank you for liking, for sharing, for all the things, for every donation, every super thanks comment and super chat and all the things. You guys bless me, but I always pray that that blessing and beautiful energy exchange of gratitude, love, and appreciation comes back to you a millionfold over. Okay, so have a beautiful day. I'll see you soon. Namaste.